Oh, the band is back together, and I'm not talking about me and Jim. You got Toddy, you got Joe, you got Darvish. It's stretch run. It's September. Padres have an off day tomorrow. They're playing good baseball in the second half of the season. Everything is in front of them. And they win today over Detroit at Petco in front of a really great crowd for the return of Fernando Tatis Jr. Yes, hitless, but Joe Musgrove again. Brilliant here today. He's been just terrific since coming back. And the Padres behind Luis Ariz, who didn't walk today, beat the Tigers 3-0. So, first of all, as you get here, please subscribe. We have year-round content for Padres fans. We'd love to get to 7,000 subscribers with your help this week. This Padres homestand, second to last homestand of the season. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do it. We'll have thousands of people here live or on replay. So please subscribe if you haven't as of yet. Smash the like button for us. You can follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We appreciate the super chats. We really do. Great way to support the channel and our work and control the direction of the conversation. And if you want to make sure to see your comment on screen, just click the $ below the chat box. Also, if you want to become a member, you can click the join button down below. This was an old-fashioned pitcher's duel, 1-0 all the way until very late, bottom of the eighth inning. Bullpen did its part. Joe Musgrove was just sensational, and Fernando Tatis Jr. was back in right field. Hard to ask for much more than what we saw out there today, Jim.
It was a great day, even though Tatis went 0 for 4. His presence back out there means a lot. I think Schilt talked about that post game, like, yeah, he went 0 for 4 today, but just having him back in that lineup and that presence back in that lineup is a lot, and it means a lot for this team. And then Joe continues to be dominant since his return. That to me is like the much bigger, like Tatis returning, freaking amazing. I didn't think he was going to return today, but we knew he was going to return this week. And for the stretch run, that's awesome. Joe pitching like this, John, I don't think anybody thought this was going to be how he pitched when he returned from his, his injury.
I think you had it on social media today. I think I saw you tweeted something out. He
Did
has
you
a
tweet something out
1.3.
too?
Yeah, I
you
think we
tweeted
both
something
did.
too, right?
It's funny, we tweeted something very similar.
Very
He's got
similar.
A 1.3 ERA
and 27 and 2/3 innings, right?
Yeah, I mean, and he's worked deep into a couple of games here. Initially, we're like, well, is he ever going to get back to being like a 90-plus pitch, 100-plus pitch guy? And he has, because he went 7 innings one time, although he didn't throw a lot of pitches going 7 innings. Then today, he was forced to work a little bit there in the 6th inning, finished over 90 pitches. His velocity, Jim, is up. I saw Kyle Glazer had tweeted about that. I know Don Orsillo was discussing it. Yeah, his velocity is up here in the second half of the season. So I don't understand all the nuance of it. I don't know what he's doing that is different, or if he's just healthier or whatever it is. But velocity up, 1.3 ERA. And I don't know if he's going to have a 1.3 ERA from here on out, but man, it's encouraging. And then you get Darvish back. We've been talking about this. Randy Vasquez spot has been a disaster. The Waldron, the way that finished, and Vasquez the other day allows 9 runs. I mean, Darvish, if nothing else, is giving you a chance. Even if it takes a second start for him to get going, he's going to give you a chance, which is something Randy Vasquez wasn't doing. So it's very encouraging when you look at that rotation.
Because you'll have Darvish, Joe, Dylan Cease, Michael King, and I guess Martin Perez. I don't know, but yeah, Darvish coming back Wednesday. He'll be on a pitch count for sure. I wouldn't expect him to go longer than 60 pitches, honestly. But it's just all perfect timing for the stretch run. September just started. You come Wednesday night, you will now have a fully complete team. There's nobody you're waiting on. There's no injuries.
Kimmy.
Well, okay, Kimmy, you're right. Just kidding.
But no, you're right. Your point's valid.
Very close to full team. I mean, once Kim gets back here, which should be kind of soonish. I mean, I know they signed Nicky to be the insurance there, but I mean, you're looking at a team that is fully ready to go. No major injuries. Knock on wood. Everybody knock on wood right now. And you're the 4 seed. You're a game up on Arizona. You're, I think, 5 up on a playoff spot, or 4. Excuse me, on the 4 up on the Mets.
Yeah, that's the tricky. That's the one part that is quasi scary. And I still feel very good, but the one part that's quasi scary is not being more than 4 up in a playoff spot.
I still think they're in a really good position. And my stance of how confident I am that they're going to make the postseason still stands. I still feel very confident that this team will
No.
in the
You
post.
locked it in.
I know. I locked it in. They're in to me. They are.
I haven't locked it in.
I just don't know where you're going to land. A lot of things can change, but I think they're in, and I think that having the full team back now, Joe pitching like he's pitching, that team is scary, dude.
Yeah, I mean, to not make it would be an utter
Disaster.
disaster with getting fully healthy like this. And it's not the easiest schedule, but you're looking at like a 6-16 finish, maybe. I mean, honestly, you could do better than that and miss out because the Mets have played well. But I mean, it would be a disastrous finish to miss out. I'm with you. I think they're going to the postseason. I'm not yet at the point. I'll do it well before their magic number is 0, but I can't say it today that they're definitively in the postseason. All right, let's get to some of the super chats. Over 300 of you are here right now live, so we appreciate your support of the channel. Please subscribe. On our way to 7,000 subscribers. If you have not yet subscribed, please do that right now, whether you're here live or on replay. And thank you so much for the super chats like this one from Carson to get us started with this very fascinating question. John and Jim. By the way, my John has no H.
It's a Jon.
Yeah. And Jim, that's not even his name. His name is James, I'm led to believe. Was
Correct.
it ever Jim and John? No. Never.
Never.
It's a great question, though. The Beef, thank you. It says, stormy outside. El Nino is here. Let's go. You saw what El Nino said post-game. I know Darnay Tripp put something really cool up on social media, how Tatis was very complimentary of Padres fans in the city of San Diego and those that have supported him. I mean, it must be amazing, Jim. You missed 2.5 months. You've been through everything he's been through. Yet he's got the crowd in his corner, which makes sense, home player. But, I mean, they're there for him despite all the ups and downs. There's been a lot of downs for Tatis over the years. And there we are on a Labor Day, hot day, 3:40 start, 45,000 people in the building.
And I remember we were talking to Kevin on Friday, and I think he misunderstood where I was like going with the question about the like deja vu with Tatis. I didn't mean that deja vu like he's going to potentially get suspended again. I meant like
right.
This feels it's like deja vu, like the team is going in a stretch run. Tatis is coming back from injury, but it's different this time because they're actually getting him back. And this is like a reprieve for Tatis for 2022, for him personally, where he didn't get to experience that. He did not get to experience the craziness here in San Diego during the playoff run. He didn't get to experience playing in front of this amazing fan base at Petco Park during the postseason. I mean, when you think about it, John, he's never played in front of fans in the postseason.
2020, right? No one was there.
And now they've only made it 2 of the last 4 years, but I firmly believe they'll make it this season. So this will be Tatis's first time playing in front of fans at Petco Park. Hopefully, maybe if they get the 4 seed or whatnot, or if they advance to the division series, wherever they're at, then they will be playing games here at Petco Park. And this will be his first time to play at Petco. And for him personally, I bet you he's sitting there thinking like, I get a redo. I get to experience hopefully what I missed in 2022. And it's all, like, okay, Tatis, he's been out for a long time. They've held down the fort. Now he comes back. He didn't have that. He didn't get that in 2022 because, frankly, it was his fault. He messed it up. This time, he gets to come back and hopefully help this team make a World Series.
And it's been forever since 2020. I really don't even think it applies in any form or fashion for someone like Tatis. He did have the 2 home run game against the Cardinals. He did hit 455 in that 3-game series. He was 5 for 11, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 3 walks, 1662 OPS. Against them, the Dodgers, in those 3 games, he was 2 for 11 with a double, hit 182 with a 580 OPS. But the combined numbers in 6 career playoff games, 318 hitter, 444 on base, 682 slug, 1126 OPS. Again, the sample size is so limited. But we have to see him again in the postseason. It's been way too long. and he's got to stay healthy, and he cannot miss the 2024 postseason. He just cannot do that. And we got to put this guy in bubble wrap from now until whenever the postseason starts, because he just has to be out there, and he's got to be close to 100%. He's not going to be 100%, but he's got to be close.
I mean, you can't put him in bubble wrap. He's got to play. He's got to help his team.
Honestly, I'd almost rather put him in. I mean, can you imagine if he missed the 2024 postseason?
Stop. Don't even want to talk about that.
But with Tatis, you can't count on his health. You just can't.
You never can. But you just go and under the assumption that he'll be here. Hopefully. What did you make of his day today? 1 over 4.
I thought it was completely fine. I'm giving him a full no rehab. June 21st, the last time he played. I'm giving him the whole week. And honestly, you should probably give him more than that. To your point, he's got to get ready for October. He's going to be anxious. He's going to be overexcited.
And they won.
I have no problem with it at all.
And they won.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting him to come off the IL and hit 2 home runs today. I mean, he hasn't been in the game setting in forever. I just hope he gets back to looking like Tatis at some point this month. That's my hope. Not necessarily Wednesday, but at some point this month. Paul Stone, thank you for the very generous super chat. He says, who do you think will make the cut for the bullpen in the potential 3-game wildcard series? I like this question. Assuming Suarez, Scott, Adam, Estrada, and Morejon are locks. I don't know what that last part means. But who else would be in the bullpen? Remember, you could probably add, I forget what the rules are, but you could probably add an extra reliever, because you're not going to have 5 starters with you in the postseason. You might not even have 4 in a 3-game series. So guys like Sean Reynolds would be really good candidates. Yuki Matsui. Whom else? Wandy Peralta was just activated.
Yeah, he was. Brian Hoeing, another guy.
Yeah, Brian Hoeing will be on. Definitely, because he's a long man.
I think you got. How many would you have on? What, 13 or 14 pitchers in a postseason series?
It's a big number, and you're only going to have 3.5 starters, so you're going to have 9 relievers.
Suarez, Scott, Adam, Estrada, Morejon, Yuki.
Hoeing's a lock.
Reynolds,
probably.
And you got.
Oh, you still have also Alec Jacob.
But if you go Alec Jacob, you have 9 relievers, okay, and then Joe, Dylan, Cease, Michael King, Darvish. That's 4.
Yeah,
so you have
100%. You'd have 4 starters. Yeah, even though you say, well, why would you have 4 starters for a 3-game series? Well, what if someone gets hurt or doesn't last? I mean, if someone gets hurt, you can make the change in series. But what if someone goes in the inning?
I would honestly play down a position player and then just make sure you have enough pitching.
I forget what the rules are on it, though. There are rules on it. I just
if you have 9, can you have more than 13? I mean, can you have up to 13 or?
I have no idea, but there is a number.
Because we just named off 9 relievers, 4 starters. There's 13 right there. There you go.
Yeah, it's in the neighborhood of 13, definitely. But that's a great question, and I think it's actually another one of these good problems. They got really good 6th, 7th, 8th options. Guys like Yuki Matsui, Sean Reynolds, Brian Hoeing are terrific 6th, 7th, and 8th options for a bullpen.
Because you don't need a 5th starter in the division, not division round, both division round and the wild card round. So you get to add another reliever.
Any round, because if you play best of 7, there's 2 off days in a series for travel. There's no round you would need a 5th starter. Jaraco 30. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but thank you for the super. He says, you've discussed Robert Suarez's struggles. You trust him in a high leverage situation in the postseason. I mean,
absolutely.
Yes, he's had a damn good year. I don't think he's been as good recently as he had been maybe early on, but I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, right, Jim? I mean, his numbers are ridiculous. They've lost, I think, 2 games this year with him on the mound, and he's pitched in a ton of games. So, I mean, I trust him. I don't know if I trust him as much as I did May 1st, but I definitely trust him.
Here's the one thing that he doesn't really possess right now.
Second pitch.
Well, besides the second pitch, he's not really this high strikeout guy. He's getting it done for sure because no one can hit his fastball, not to any consequence. So, 51 strikeouts and 55 innings pitched this season. I would have thought honestly that he would have more, but again, he's getting it done. He's got a 1.96 ERA, 30 saves, and he's got a WHIP under 1. I trust him in the postseason.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if his WHIP was under 1 because he's had a lot of base runners recently. He's allowing more hits than he was earlier. What's his WHIP? 0.97 is my guess.
0.96.
All right, there we go. Michael, you said it was sub 1. I knew it was going to be close to 1. Michael, thank you for the super. He says, Jim and John, what are your expectations for Darvish on Wednesday? I'd say, like you said, 4 innings. I think would be a decent start. Hopefully 4 innings and keeps you in the game and looks like you, Darvish.
He goes 4 innings, gives up 1 run.
That'd be great.
I mean,
with this bullpen off an off day, you're fine.
Yeah, fine. Just don't get blown up. Don't come out of the game with an injury, and that's what it is. Like, I feel like the progression you're going to see is pretty similar to what you saw from Joe here from his last 5 starts, where the first couple outings 60, 65 pitches, and then the next one you're trying to go from 65 to 70, and then after that you see where you're at, and then by your 4th start you're pretty much going 85 to 95 pitches out there.
Well, look at it like this. Because he's returning with 22 games remaining, he could make 5 September starts, which is a huge number. I think Darvish only made 5 starts, and we feel like this guy's completely locked in. Now, that's if everything goes smoothly. But he's going to pitch 5 times if everything works out. With the off days, he probably could pitch 6, but he'll pitch 5 times in the final 25-plus days of the season, final 22 games. And if he's ready to go, he's ready to go. That's the whole goal here. He's definitely going to be in that postseason roster. And let's see what he looks like. Again, the good problems continue to pop up where you've got 4 legitimate starters for a 3-game series. If you Darvish looks like you Darvish over the next 25-plus days.
Yeah, and they're going to need him. It's crazy to think that this team now has, pretty much a fully healthy roster.
It's crazy.
Like, you don't see that a lot with teams. It's always like one big injury here, one big injury there. Like, got to overcome this, got to overcome that. They're ready to go. They're fully ready to go. Once you get Ha-Seong Kim back here in the next week or so, it's the team you broke camp with. Obviously, you had added Luis Ariz and the players at the trade deadline. But it's like, hey, we're all ready to go. And then plus the additions that you've made in season, the Solanos and the Peraltas and the relievers. And this is easily, to me, by far the deepest Padres team under AJ Preller, and it's not even close.
It's not close. They're much deeper than 2022, and that's the only comp because of what they did in the postseason. But I agree with you. Now, that doesn't mean they make it as far. They might go further. They might not.
That's basically.
They might go the exact same distance. But I agree with your general assessment. Look at it like this, Jim. Let's just fast forward for 1 second. You're the 4 seed. You play good baseball. You beat Arizona. You finish a couple games behind the Dodgers in the division. That's a decent result considering everything. Being 5 games out. You're the 4 seed. You beat the Arizona Diamondbacks at home. Terrific. You beat them in a 3-game series, however you do it. The 1 seed in this hypothetical could be Los Angeles. You've played Los Angeles very well, but it's still the Dodgers who have bowed out in the DS back-to-back years. You look at it 2 ways. You beat them, amazing. Or that's incredible. It's the 3rd time you're meeting in the last 5 years. Now you're back in a championship series. Everything's on the table. You're thinking about a World Series. But if you lose to them, you didn't go as far as 2022. But I'm not going to say that this team wasn't, quote unquote, as good. You didn't go as far. But it's a damn good team that I think completely rivals 2022, kind of regardless of whether they make a DS or a CS, even though, again, it's like March Madness. All we care about is, did you make a Sweet 16 or did you make a Final Four? That's kind of what matters at the end of the day.
Remind me again. I don't know why I'm blanking. So let's just say Dodgers finished with the 1, Phillies the 2, Brewers the 3, Padres the 4, D-backs the 5, Braves the 6.
Sure.
All right. So you're hosting Arizona, and then Milwaukee is hosting Atlanta.
They don't reseed.
Okay, that's my.
So 3-6 winner plays 2, 4-5 winner plays 1.
Which to me kind of doesn't make sense because
not to reseed
because you're essentially giving the 1 seed a tougher matchup with potentially facing the 4. And then the 2 seed, an easier matchup facing the 6. So, like,
unless I'm crazy, it's bracketed. It's not reseeded.
Right. It is bracketed, and that's what it shows. So to me, you're like, That doesn't make sense. I mean, look, I don't know if there's anybody like truly complaining about it, right? But I mean, if I'm the 1 seed, the Padres are the 1 seed, you should earn some benefit here for being the 1 seed. Yes, you get home field and you get a bye, but to me, that's not good enough. Like you need to. It's like in the NFL.
That's interesting.
The 1 seed isn't all of a sudden just going to face the 4 seed. If like no, they're going to face the lowest remaining seed in the division round.
I don't know the reasoning. I don't. I guess it was collectively bargained. It's an interesting point. I don't know what I would think about that. But by the way, the path I just laid out, the home path Arizona, then the road team in a best of 5 series, you know what I mean? The home field to the Dodgers. You're going nowhere, which I love. There's no travel. 3 games at Petco. If you win it, LA, San Diego, amazing. Yes, you've played very well against the Dodgers this year. We don't know what happens in the last 3 games of the year. But the Dodgers have lost the last 2 years in this round of the postseason. I just don't know what to make of that. I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but I don't know what to make of that. I'm just comparing it to 2022. I agree with you. I think there's more depth here. But that doesn't mean they go as far or further, but they might.
Yeah. You're looking at it like, what's the easier path to the World Series? You're like 6 seed, you go through Milwaukee and
is that easier though? You got to go to Milwaukee. You got to go to Philadelphia.
Okay.
As opposed to sleep in your own bed and then drive an hour. That's maybe a little fast, an hour to get to Dodger Stadium.
You're right. You're probably right. I'm just looking at
I don't know. But yeah, it's hard to. It's a great point. I mean,
But my point also from a couple weeks ago or last week, whenever, like, I still feel confident in whoever they face. There's not one team in the postseason right now that I'm like, ooh, don't face them, because to me, the Padres are that team. Mm-hmm. They're that team that everybody's saying, ooh, we don't want to face them. So from that standpoint and that logic and thinking, bring anybody on. I don't care.
The only exception for me, and I just got to be honest because that's why people are here. The only exception for me right now is LA. I'm not saying they're better. That's not my point at all. But I'm saying they're very comparable and they've played incredible baseball and now they're beating good teams. Like to beat Arizona 3 out of 4 in Arizona, the way Arizona was playing in the second half, is a very impressive series, in my opinion. They beat the shit out of them. They scored a ton of runs.
Yeah.
And their pitching, we talk about the Padres getting healthier. I think the Dodgers pitching is always a question mark. But if it is healthy enough with their rotation, it's a problem, is my point. And it's a very good lineup. And it's a real matchup. It does not mean the Padres cannot beat them. So make no mistake. But I'm just saying that as good as the Padres have played, and they played brilliant baseball, what the Dodgers have done here recently has been concerning. If you've been paying attention, which we've been paying attention.
And this is without Glass now, and Kershaw went down, and Buehler sucks.
But you think about Buehler and
Yamamoto's not there.
Now, and if Yamamoto is back, although he's never pitched, obviously, in the postseason, it's a short series. You don't know, but again, just food for thought moving forward. Let's get back to this in a moment. I see a lot of super chats here. Please subscribe. Year-round content for Padres fans. We'd love to get to 7,000 subscribers with your help, so please subscribe. If you are here, we got to thank our title sponsor. Mark Nimitz is here tonight in the chat. Thank you, Mark, for your longtime support of our channel. As a lot of you know, Mark has been with us since day one, and we probably never get the channel off the ground if not for the support of Mark Nimitz. We've got insurance policies through Mark for years. I've had homeowners and earthquake and life insurance policies with Mark. He can save you a lot of money just by switching your insurance over to him, like $750 or more. But in addition to that, if you ever need him, he's got great service and communication. And how do we know that? Because I've had to use him. Because we had to file a claim in here 2 years ago. He took care of everything, saved us so much time and money. And he's a lifelong San Diegan, and he is a lifelong Padres fan, and he loves this channel. So if you support the channel, please support Mark Nimitz. Click the link in the description down below. If it's a renewal, he'll save you money. If you're looking for a new policy, get in contact with Mark, and he's going to give you that competitive quote. And he's a great insurance agent. You can take that from us. So please support our title sponsor by clicking the link in the description down below.
Yeah, all his information is down there on the scroll bar, mnimitz@farmersagent.com. Reach out to Mark for all your insurance needs. And when you do, let him know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
I don't know when this happened, Mauricio. When did he swing 3-0? Was it his last AB, or was it when did he swing 3-0? And I don't recall it, but I was also watching Jones all day, but I watched the entire game. But I don't recall it specifically. I don't think it's a weird flex. This is an 850 career. I don't even know what his career OPS is. It's higher than that. This guy hits for power. Guys, they hit for power looking for pitches, and they should have green lights.
Trying to see it. He's
Third AB.
Third AB. Okay.
So
he swung at the first pitch in the 6th. And then he swung at the first pitch. Wait, no. It's the first pitch? First pitch in the 8th?
Okay, maybe it was the last at bat. He swung 3-0.
Maybe. I don't know. I just it's tough, man. He's out there and he has had they're hyping up this like controlled stuff in Arizona. It's not the real thing. And so like this is going to probably take a little bit of time here.
Well,
by the way, another stat that I saw on television, John, that it kind of blew me away was in his first at bat. I don't know if you saw this. They put on the screen Tatis's numbers when he returns from injury.
Yeah. Like the first
he has had
back
5 games where he has returned after missing 10 plus games due to injury.
Yeah, I remember
5 times.
We used to talk about this.
5 times. I think today was his 6th time, right?
Yeah.
He's 5 previous. So this was his 6th after missing 10 plus games to an injury.
It's his whole career.
That's also like probably one of those fake stats, like because you could have one IL stint that's 10 days, obviously.
He did have one like that, but he also had one where he went from 2022 to 2024 between games. Or excuse me, you know what I mean? Whatever it was, 2021 to 2023.
But my point is he's been injured. That shows he's like been injured a lot.
His whole career, sadly. And to your point, I was impressed he was back today. Kevin said Friday with us he could be back Monday. I'm like, no, he's not. He literally said he could be back Monday. I'm like, right. That's funny. He's like, Monday or Wednesday. I'm like, well, okay, Wednesday maybe. I felt like that was a stretch.
I thought it was going to be closer to the end of the week. I think I picked Friday.
Yeah, credit to Kevin. And Kevin was on it. He talked about it last week. He was among the first, if not the first on it today. So he had that inside source on that. But that really surprised me. The fact that both Darvish and Tatis won't rehab anywhere, to me, is surprising. Hopefully it works out well, but to me is at least somewhat surprising. Carson says worried about the Mets at all. I am. Yeah. Not to overtake the Padres and put the Padres on the outside, but like just in a general scope of, Jim, the Padres are 18 games over 500 and have not locked anything up. Like, again, they're well positioned. But if you would have told me 2 months ago a team was 18 games over 500, I would have told you they were celebrating with champagne.
Yeah. Well, we've reached September 1st. So we didn't talk about it the other day. Oh, yeah. Remember I said if they were 10 games over on September 1st?
You said you trust them.
Yeah, they were 17 games over on September 1st. Now they're 18 games over.
Crazy.
Yeah, the Mets do worry you, but if everything kind of holds and say the Mets do sneak in as the 6th, right? Next time you'll face them would be in the NLCS, if they even get that far. Now that's scary for sure, because that means the Mets will have to be playing some damn good baseball to get that far.
I'm scared about them having the tiebreaker.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I'm thinking about postseason because I've already locked them in. So.
That too, because they dominated the Padres this year. But I'm just thinking about like imagine a scenario where you're 4 games up on them, but you can't give up 4 games because of the tiebreaker.
All right.
But again, if the Mets get hot, won't they go through Atlanta to do that? I'm assuming they're playing Atlanta at least another series.
Hey man, me personally, I just don't have that feeling that this team is going to all of a sudden lose 6 of 7 or go on a stretch where they like go 6-16. Like I just don't even.
I agree.
I don't envision that at all. They're playing so confidently, and there's no way these guys are going to this close to the end down the stretch let each other fail. Like I don't feel like everyone's locked in. Okay, the whole story about Manny and the other leaders on the team, coming home here, last game before an off day of the 18-18, long trip yesterday from Florida. Hey, we got to lock in today. Like, they're just not going to let each other fail and to get to the postseason. I just don't see it
I
happening.
agree with that.
That's why.
But look at it like this. I know, I agree. If they go 11-11, they have 90 wins.
Yeah.
11-11. And the way they've played 11-11 would be quasi disappointing.
Kind of, yeah.
So let's just say 12-10, because they just went 10-8 over these 18, which is more than good enough considering the circumstances and the weather and the weird particulars of the 18 games.
Right.
I think 10-8 was more than good enough. But if you look at the last 22 and say, you know what, just do it. Just play these things out, simulate them 12-10, which is good baseball with the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks in there and the Astros. But just say 12-10, 91 wins.
Well,
So that's where they're heading.
They just went 10-8 over their 18-game stretch here.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where they're heading. They're heading to
perfectly
90,
good.
91.
Yeah.
Shoot, outside chance 92, 93. I think beyond that gets really far-fetched with the Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Astros, others awaiting. But we can go down that path. But I think 90 plus is very realistic.
They're on the verge of having the best record since 98. First season.
So what is the most wins since 98?
90.
No 92 in there?
They went 90 and 72 and
90 and 72. I get that confused with 92 and 70.
Yeah. Wait.
No, I know.
Yeah, 90 and 70.
Yes, see, I get it confused.
They went 90 and 72 in 2010.
Okay.
That was the last 90-win season and the only 90-win season for this team since 98.
That is wild.
And then 96, obviously, and then 84.
That's truly wild.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's truly wild. And not in a good way, like a bad wild. All right, let me get to this from Darapod. Thank you, Darapod. Guys, if you're here, subscribe. Please subscribe.
80 away.
Subscribers.
80 away.
Wow, 80 subscribers. Take the time right now. I know a number of you have not subscribed. Live or on replay, take the time right now. Subscribe. Doesn't cost you a penny, and we thank you. And we're 93,080 subscribers away from 100,000. So thank you. Darapod says, AJ Preller has shown that he has learned from past mistakes. He ditched the rookie managers for experienced ones and provided depth that we lacked in 2023. I think that's a very reasonable take. I'm sure he has learned a lot during his tenure as the GM.
Yeah, he has.
He's done everything.
Learned a lot, made a lot of mistakes. Truthfully, probably should have been fired long ago, but he's gotten chance after chance, and he has made the most of his 9 lives, with this year essentially being his final life, theoretically, like metaphorically speaking, with this team.
Right.
Because if they don't make the postseason this year, there's virtually, in my mind, no shot he was returning. No. And he has performed in a huge way this year to where I think he should be executive of the year. What he's done with the trades and the pickups during the season, and the faith to start Jackson Merrill at the big league level, and the trades he's made, he virtually has pitched a perfect season. Like, I truly believe that. And I've been the biggest I've been the biggest person to criticize AJ Preller
right
in this town, I feel like. Yet this year he has pitched a almost perfect game with every move he's made. From the trade of Juan Soto, that has worked out beautifully. I was not in favor of it, but it worked out for this season. The signing of Jurickson Profar, the trade for Dylan Cease, the trade for Luis Ariz, the pickup of Donovan Solano and David Peralta, the starting of Jackson Merrill in the big leagues, bringing over Jeremiah Estrada from the scrap heap, trading for Scott, Adam, and Hoeing at the deadline. Like, dude, he's been fantastic this year.
It's amazing you can pull all those strings, and this could get you to 90.
I know.
What would it take to, like you said, to get to 98? Again, I don't know if any team's going to win 98 games, truthfully, in the National League. JD Gacha, thank you for the super. Says Arizona outscores LA 35-32, drops 3 or 4. That's baseball. Well, that's because yesterday they won by 12. And the Dodgers in the other game scored 10, 8, 50. I mean, the Dodgers scored this series.
Yeah, they did.
I guess LA did too, or excuse me, Arizona did too, but they did all that in one game because they scored like 14 or 15 runs yesterday in their win.
Yeah.
And that is baseball.
That you're right. The thing about the Dodgers that scare me, the Padres have played them great this year.
Yeah, they have.
But the one thing the Dodgers have done this year that they haven't done the last however many years, is play meaningful baseball in September.
Yeah.
And they're playing some meaningful baseball, and they're not going into cruise control, which they've done the last however many seasons.
Yeah, and there's enough time to, again, have the conversation about could you overcome that many games. I just look at what the Dodgers are doing right now, and I look at what they have to come. And Jim, you've talked about like Rockies for 6 games and Marlins for 3 games and Angels for 2 games. That's not enough meat on their schedule for them to trip, in my opinion. It would be very surprising. So even if they play blah, just give them a game over 500, then you got to go play out of your mind to make up 5 games. So possible, unlikely. And I think most people would agree with that. 5 games back in September of a team that's as capable as LA with their schedule, that's hard to do. And that's going to take something really special. Padres had a special August. Can they parlay it into a special September and somehow surprise everyone? At that point, you're looking at the World Series favorite in the National League if that somehow happened. But there's a long way to go between now and then.
Long way to go. Division's not out of complete reach.
Not completely.
Yeah, I'm just imagining if you can somehow get it to 2 in that final road trip through LA and Arizona. Now we're cooking, man. We are cooking with some hot grease.
You're right. If you had a 2, yeah,
even 3, to be honest with you, even 3, you still have a chance.
Got a shot. Go 5-1.
Got to sweep that series versus the Dodgers, but only if you are if you're even 4 back with 6 to play, probably hard to envision. 5 back, you're done. Obviously,
you're done.
Obviously 6 back, the Dodgers have clinched it.
Yeah.
What you don't want to see here is the also kind of thing that I don't know if we've thought about yet. There could be a chance that one of those games versus the Padres in the final week of the season could be a clinching National League West game for the Dodgers.
Ooh.
And I don't know about you. I don't want to come here on the wrap-up show or even watch it on my television, the Dodgers celebrating an NL West title after just beating the Padres at Dodger Stadium.
Ooh, that's interesting. Had not thought about it. Ooh, that's a really fascinating final. I mean, there's all kinds of weird things that happen. How about this, Jim? All 3 of those teams could celebrate with one another, so to speak, the final 6 games.
That'd be weird.
Hear me out. One team wins the division. Another team clinches a wild card, and another team clinches a wild card. That's the most likely scenario.
Okay, is there a scenario where the Dodgers, while beating the Padres, or vice versa?
Yeah, definitely. Both get it on the same day. Absolutely.
Both of them celebrate their perspective.
You don't usually.
Whatever.
I mean, do you celebrate off a loss? I guess you do.
They celebrated. They celebrated on 2022. They lost the White Sox, and they celebrated that day.
Yeah, I remember that. So yes, absolutely. Absolutely, that's possible. If your magic number is 1 for a playoff spot and theirs is 1 for a division, it could happen within the same day or 24 hours. We got a long way to go for that, but yeah, it's possible. Yeah. Paul Stone, thank you again for the super. He says, see, this is the point, and this is why it's impossible for the Mets to be good in Atlanta and so on. Mets lost 16 games, 7 against the Phillies, 3 against the Brewers, 3 against the Braves. That'll soften them up, Chief. Yeah, it's a fair point. I mean, if they go 13-3 there, then power to them. They're going to be in the postseason through Atlanta or through someone if they do something like that.
But they are hot. So they have, I think, the 4th toughest remaining schedule in the National League. And the Braves have the easiest, along with the Dodgers.
Yeah. So. Dodgers aren't going to go away, unfortunately. John, thank you for the generous super chat. He says, even if we get the first or second wild card, we still play the Snakes. This playoff generally feels like a crapshoot, but obviously go Padres. I went to the game and was electric. Imagine a playoff series. It'd be phenomenal. I mean, we were there in 2022. And I agree with him. I think it's a complete crapshoot. As in, you like your chances, but I also think the opponents are good. If it's Arizona, LA, Philadelphia, right? I mean, these are really good teams.
Yeah, the Cronenworth game against the Dodgers was one of the greatest atmospheres I've ever experienced for a sporting event ever. The press box was shaking, the stadium was shaking, the crowd was going ape shit.
It was all Padre fans.
I mean, there wasn't a single Dodger fan in the house.
It's amazing.
You know, it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible.
Let's do that again. To John's point, let's do that again. Thank you, John, and thank you guys for hanging out again. Please subscribe. Also, please pick up a Mova Globe. These might be the good luck charms. Since Mova Globes signed on board with the wrap-up show, the Padres have the best record in baseball, and that is a factual statement. And you can have one of these by using promo code PWS10 by clicking the link in the description down below. Any team, they've got all 30 officially licensed. This company right here in San Diego, this technology of these spinning globes with light, artificial or natural, this technology was invented right here, Cardiff by the Sea in San Diego. Really cool company. They've got the MLB globes. They have the planetary globes. They got all the globes you could possibly want by clicking the link in the description down below. And you could take 10% off right now by using promo code PWS10. That is PWS10. The only issue with Mova Globes is we always go down the rabbit hole of talking about planets for 5 minutes after we do the promo for Mova Globes. And somebody was like, you guys are idiots. And I'm a scientist, and you screwed everything up about Venus last night. I'm like, okay, my bad. Like,
sorry.
So pick these up, whether it's a Padres Globe or any of the 30 major league teams. They're available for you right now. Click that link in the description down below and use promo code PWS10.
Yep, go there right now. PWS10 promo code. Pick up a Mova Globe today. Padres fans or just baseball fans in general of your favorite baseball team, or if you're a fan of outer space and the planet Earth, pick up an Earth Mova Globe today. PWS10 is our promo code. These things are awesome. They're great for your house, your desk, your work. Pick one up today.
Look at that puppy. God, spins. Yeah, they really are cool. Your family will love them. My son loves it. My wife thinks it's cool. You'll love them. Use promo code PWS10. The rare Tuesday off day in the middle of a series has come for the San Diego Padres, wrapping up the 18-18, which then puts you, Darvish, on the mound. Remember, the Padres have missed Skubal for the Tigers. He is not a probable either Wednesday or Thursday. That continues the theme we talked about yesterday, where they've missed some frontline starters. That's not their fault. That's their advantage. Got to win this series. Simple as that. You've taken game one. We'll see about game two with you, Darvish. I mean, I'm fascinated to see what he looks like. It's not like he was really, quote unquote, hurt. Maybe there were some things in there over a period of time, but we just haven't seen him in forever. His IL stint or whatever restricted stint, Jim, is going to be longer than Joe Musgrove's. Correct. By the time it's all said and done.
Yeah, but if you get 5 starts here in September and you can look better and better with each start, like Joe has, we're cooking with, like I said, some hot grease. Yeah, fire. Rotation of Cease, Joe, Darvish, and King. That would, to me, be the best rotation maybe in baseball in a postseason.
That'd be really good.
Like, I'm being dead ass serious. Name me a better one right now. Oh wait, you can't.
I mean, I'm sure they're comparable rotations would be my guess, but
I'll take 1 through 4 like that. A 1 through 4 like that.
Well, there might be higher upside. Like, it depends on how Cease is pitching heading into the postseason.
Yeah, like the Yankees, they have Gill and they have, well, he got injured tonight. Garrett Cole, Stroman. I don't know the rest of the rotation.
Really. I mean, again, I feel like
Philly,
if the Dodgers are healthy, their rotation is going to be legitimate.
Yeah,
Glasnow, Bueller,
Flaherty, Bueller.
Yeah, that's legitimate. Yamamoto.
But they have to be pitching well. That's the difference. The Padres rotation in this hypothetical.
Yep.
Will be pitching really well.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Rodon's also Yankees also. Anyway. But Yeah,
Just
fun game. Really fun game today. It was a pitcher's duel. Love that. And the Tigers are playing really good baseball. So this is not some like win over a crappy team.
That's a
Tigers
good
have been
win.
8-2, 8-2 over the last 10.
Oh, I was worried. I mean, I was worried
Yeah.
a lot that they couldn't sit on 1-0. Tigers had runners to second a couple times in a 1-0 game.
Yeah.
Couldn't cash him in. By the way, you look up and Luis Ariz leads the National League in hitting, batting average at 310
Sky's
by
blue.
like 4 points right now. Well, he had fallen below that mark for at least a month. He was not leading the National League in hitting, but here he is, maybe healthier. I mean, he's got the torn ligament. Couple of big run producing hits in this game, one of which I think was 0-2, where he fell behind 0-2. I mean, he's just been such a massive piece of this puzzle. There was that amazing stat from, I think Darnay had it first, that he struck out twice since the All-Star game. Like, how is that even possible? I mean, he pounces on everything, but that's an amazing stat. Incredible.
He doesn't walk, though.
He doesn't walk. He's probably walked twice since the All-Star break, truthfully. I don't know if he has. I don't know if he's walked more since the All-Star break or struck out more since the All-Star break. But the dude has been, I mean, guy's hitting 310. Nobody hits 300 for the Padres that's not named Tony Gwynn. It just doesn't happen.
When's the last time someone?
It was like Brian Giles in like the 1300s. I mean, it's been a while.
That's right.
It's been a long time. I mean, 15, 20 years. That's crazy. And you might say, well, Petco's not a good, I say it's not a good power parker over the years, but you think someone hit 300 doing it like a Tony Gwynn or Luis Ariz using the field.
Right.
But that hasn't played out. Shoot, Jackson Merrill could hit 300 this year. You've talked about that.
That might take a little bit
That's going to take some
work, but he had 2 hits again today.
It's crazy.
Which he just continues to amaze every single game. Went 2 for 3. He's 291 right now with the 816 OPS.
Amazing.
So yeah, maybe he can hit close to 300. I mean, if he gets to 300, I mean, he's already putting up a better season than Benito did.
Yeah, it'll be a better season. Yeah.
And so yeah, we are witnessing the greatest rookie season in the history of the franchise.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing. He's an amazing year. Wild. There was an article from Kevin, I want to say today, saying like, hey, I've never put my body through what I'm being put through right now.
Saw that.
But I'm ready to rock and roll. Like, I'm going to take tomorrow off and I'll be ready to go for this stretch run. Here's the benefit. Not every team has this. I think they still have 5 off days, including tomorrow. That's a lot of off days. And then there's an off day before the postseason starts, assuming you're in it. That's a 6th. I mean, they have 6 of the next 27 days off. That's not bad.
And the benefit for Merrill is he's 21. He is at a point in his life where it takes a lot for you to get tired, especially if you're a professional athlete. You are just, you're like Energizer Bunny. You just keep going and going and going. Now it might hit him in the off season, hard.
Right.
But at this moment in time, he is running on pure adrenaline.
Michael says the last 300 hitter that was a Padre was Adrian Gonzalez.
Okay.
Yeah, it may be. I've heard people reference before Brian Giles. That's come up in terms of qualifying? Like qualified hitters to hit 300? I don't know. I don't have the data in front of me. But it's been a while. Because Adrian Gonzalez wasn't exactly here, in 2022. So it's been a while.
Yeah. Exactly.
What did he hit? As in, how many plate appearances or at bats did he have when he hit 300 here?
Who?
Adrian Gonzalez. I'm kind of curious now.
Well, John, he had 570 when he hit 304 in 2006.
All right, that qualifies. But that was 2006. But
yeah,
Brian Giles hit 306 in 2008. So Brian Giles is the answer.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Adrian, that Adrian year. I mean, I'm not saying you forget about Adrian Gonzalez because you don't, but what he did in a Padres uniform, I mean, he had an 888 OPS, career 288 hitter with the Padres, slugged 514. We all know about the home runs because Manny just passed him or tied him. I forget.
Yep. Yeah.
He passed him, right?
Similar, whatever it is.
Yeah, he's 4-time All-Star here, 2-time Gold Glove, hit a 40 home run season. He's just a great hitter. I mean, his 2007 year, we had 46 doubles, 30 homers, 100 RBIs, 849 OPS. And then his 2009 season, played 160 games, had a 958 OPS, 40 homers, 27 doubles, 2 triples, led the league in walks.
Want me to blow your mind?
Just a great hitter. Sure, do it.
Adrian Gonzalez's career OPS is nowhere near Brian Giles.
Okay.
That's freaking crazy. Is that not crazy? Do you think Brian Giles is a career 900 OPS player? He is. I think that's crazy. And Adrian Gonzalez's career OPS is 843. That's freaking bonkers.
Well, I mean, what Brian
It's
Giles
all Pittsburgh.
did.
It's all Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
But he was good. He was good. He had some good years in freaking San Diego.
I mean, some of his Brian Giles' 04 season was really good.
I remember he was freaking crazy.
05 season was really good. Now he did his
08 season.
Mm-hmm. He had 40 doubles.
Dude, the guy freaking slugged, man. Early in his career.
Like, listen to this.
Look at some of those years, dude, in Pittsburgh.
Let's see if I can find. All right. 2002. All right. 298 with a 1,072 OPS, 38 homers, 37 doubles, 103 RBIs, 95 runs, 153 games. And I know you know this, but because you're looking at it.
What?
He finished 13th in the MVP race.
Oh, it's almost like, what was that era called again? Oh, I almost forget.
Oh, wait, hold on.
A different time.
Oh, it starts with an S, right? The steroid era. That's right.
You got to remember, like, it's a different game. I mean, it's completely different.
Yeah, like Bonds that year when he won the MVP that year,
2,000 OPS.
I mean, the 0-2 Barry Bonds. By the way, if anybody just wants to if anybody loves
you just laugh at this.
If you like to go look at baseball reference pages, you have to just look at Barry Bonds' baseball reference page because it's just hilarious. His 0-2 season, John, played 143 games. He had an 11.8 WAR. He had 46 home runs. He had 198 walks. He hit 370. He hit 370 with a 582 on base and a 799 slug for a 1381 OPS.
This is why they got rid of steroids. Because, I mean, you had some things that have not been done and won't be done. And, I mean, the offensive numbers, there's a 10-year run there of offensive numbers that nobody's touching anymore. I mean, maybe one player, like an Aaron Judge, can get close. But, I mean, these, 1,400 OPS seasons, that's the stupidest. I mean, nobody gets anywhere near that. It's like Babe Ruth.
Listen to this stat line. Tell me where you think it would finish in the MVP Valiant today. This player hit 338 with a 1,023 OPS that season, 26 home runs, 104 RBIs, 95 runs scored.
It would be like MVP.
That's Larry Walker, and he finished 20th.
Exactly. That'd be well. Brian Giles had a season or two. He would win MVP probably today.
The season I just mentioned, 38 homers, almost 40 doubles, a 622 slug, and a 1,072 OPS. He finished 13th.
Dude, we talk about. I'm telling you, Jackson Merrill's put together the most complete season in baseball history. He's got an 800 OPS. Brian Giles has had seasons with 1,100 OPS.
And Merrill could finish top 12 this year in MVP voting potentially.
Yeah, exactly, with an 800.
And the season, no offense to Merrill, but that season that Merrill's putting together this year wouldn't finish top 25 back in 02.
Right, because the difference is Merrill doesn't take steroids, and everyone back then did. I mean, it was just different. Everyone was doing it, and that's how you get those inflated power numbers for a decade plus. And now it's like, how does baseball create that same level of excitement without guys using steroids? Shorten the game and put a clock on it. I don't know if it's created the same level of excitement as 1998, but that's
to me, I mean, the players here in the MVP vote, I mean, Bonds, Pujols, Lance Berkman, Guerrero, Jeff Kent, John Smoltz, Randy Johnson, Sammy Sosa, Kurt Schilling, Chipper Jones, Gagne, Brian Giles, Pat Burrell, Andrew Jones, Jim Edmonds, Gary Sheffield, Edgar Renteria, Larry Walker, Benito, Santiago, Roy Oswalt. Those are all huge names.
Yes, I would agree with that. You also have a lot of power hitters. And you also have, even going back 25 years, the sport was more national than it is today.
And then that's not even counting the American League, which had Miguel Tejada, A-Rod, Alfonso Soriano.
How many of those guys are linked to steroids?
A lot of them. Ichiro.
You think?
Miguel Tejada won the MVP in 2002.
With the most ridiculous. I remember that. His season was a joke.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have won the MVP. The reason why he won MVP, I think that was the year the A's won 20 in a row.
Maybe. Yeah, I remember that too. The point is the game's changed a lot.
Miguel Tejada had an 861 OPS that year, won MVP over A-Rod, who had a 1,015 OPS, 57 home runs, and 142 RBIs, and he had 300.
Wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough.
Tommy?
It's like video game.
Jim Thome. All right. Jim Thome had a 7.4 WAR. He hit 304. He led the league in slug at 677. He had an 1122 OPS, which led the American League. He had 52 home runs, 118 RBIs, 101 runs scored, 122 walks. Guess where he finished in the MVP race?
I'll joke and say 10th.
7th.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
What?
It was dumb, dude.
Dude.
I mean, you could argue which way you like more. I mean, there was definitely more home runs, I guess. I don't know, more power.
That's like my favorite thing now is just to go back and look in the early 2000s MVP races and see just how insane these guys' seasons had. And they finished like 12th in the MVP vote.
JD Gotcha, thanks, man. He says, here's a potential prop bet. Who's more productive in October, Ohtani or Merrill? I mean, that's not exactly a I mean, it's an interesting comp. Both will be in their first playoffs. That's crazy. I mean,
that's right. Ohtani's never been there. Yeah.
I mean, all that matters for Ohtani is winning. I mean, honestly, if Ohtani hit 3 home runs in a 3-game series and they lost the series, like, who cares? Is anyone be like, man, what an amazing postseason for Ohtani? He hit 3 home runs in 3 games and the Dodgers lost.
If Ohtani has a good postseason, Joe Davis would be like, Ohtani, what a spectacular player! Wow!
Wait, that's your impersonation of Joe Davis?
Kinda.
It was kind of good for like having no plan, I thought.
It was just like off the cuff, but that's kind of what Joe Davis does.
Do it again.
I can't replicate that. Hold on. Ohtani! Drive to right! Oh my gosh, he's done it again! Wow!
Dude, that's really good. That's really good.
Yeah. I shouldn't have screamed. Aaron's like, what the fuck is happening?
Aaron is going to kill you, dude.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. You guys recently got married.
She's not sleeping yet.
Divorce rate's very low in year 1.
Correct.
JD Goucher, thank you. He's followed up by saying, thanks for the trip down memory lane. 02 is a special year watching the Angels smack the Yankees around in the LDS. Line drive after line drive. The 02 post. Yeah, that whole era was wild. It really was. Someone look at this. Hold on. Look at this. Why is Jim? I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, man. The thing is, Dynamite are great. You say, well, why would you hear Joe Davis in the postseason? Because he calls games nationally.
Right.
Now, Ursillo might call some games on like TBI. I have no idea what he does in the postseason.
Now, he might tone it down a little bit for Ohtani because he has to like.
Will. But Ohtani's such a big national name, you don't even have to tone it down.
You're right. He's not going to tone it down. It's going to be like just.
Like I agree with Sharkbait. Like he literally sounds a little bit like what you just did.
I know.
That's so funny. That was really good. Guys, this is a crazy time of year.
Oh, baby.
And that was the time to sign up for Underdog Fantasy. We have the NFL this week. We have college football. I mean, guys are eating like whatever's going on with Florida State fans that are forced to
Eating
eat
dog
things,
shit.
they're 0-2. They're literally eating shit because the Seminoles are 0-2. I mean, it's unbelievable. But we have NFL returning Thursday. We have obviously Major League Baseball heading towards the postseason. You could play Padres pick'ems every single day, except on off days when they don't play. So now is the time. In fact, they've got special offers every single day this week to celebrate the return of the NFL. And if you use promo code PADSWRAP, PADSWRAP, you're getting a 50% deposit match on your first deposit up to $1,000. It's their best offer ever. All you need to do is use promo code PADSWRAP. Click the link in the description down below. They have, I went the wrong way, week 1 discounts for you right now, NFL week 1 discounts. And they also have a free pick. They're giving you a pick that you can pair with anything else to win. You could pair this with Fernando Tatis Jr. higher than a half total base, pair it with Darvish higher than 2.5 strikeouts on Wednesday or whatever it's going to be, and you can win right now at Underdog Fantasy. All you got to do is use promo code PODSWRAP. You look like the dude that's jumping off like the bridge. Promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP, PADSWRAP. Click the link in the description down below. Scan the QR code above the dying Jim Russell right now. Use promo code PODSWRAP. Are you okay?
No, I'm really not. When you get that surge right before you go to bed, and you then
I'm
you pass
starving.
out.
Are you hungry?
No, I had a big dinner.
Oh, you had like barbecue. Or you barbecued?
I did. I barbecued.
I ate like vegan rice or something.
What is wrong with you?
Hold on, let me get back to some of these supers. Oh, this is funny. Richard, thank you. He's a Dodger fan, but a loyal supporter of the channel. Please subscribe, guys. He says, hey, Jim, you forgot he hit it to Pasadena.
That's right.
I think, yeah, of course. You have to mention like a Los Angeles like community.
Right.
Yeah, almost like rules are rules. Martin, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the generous super. He says Greg Vaughn is SD's most prolific power hitter, 78 home runs in a season and a half. If he would have been in SD 96 to 2000, I know it's not saying much, but he would have far surpassed San Diego's home run record. Probably true.
Mm-hmm.
Or yes, true. He had a 50 home run season. We talked about it. Like AJ Cassavell said, like this is the most prolific lineup in Padres history. And then we looked at 98. We're like, no, we don't think it is. It is at Petco.
I think what he means is like, as far as efficiency goes, because if I'm looking at the 98 lineup, that's pretty good lineup. Now, maybe it's considered top heavy. Like, let me just look at this.
Bro, top heavy. There were 40 games over 500.
Stop. Hold on. All right. Just do. So, all right. Why is this not showing?
What's top heavy about what you're about to say? It's like 5 legitimate hitters.
Well, Vaughn had 50 home runs. Caminiti had 29. And then you had Tony had 16. Finley had 14.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean top heavy. It's not top heavy because Gwynn had 16.
All right, let me look at the OPSs here. All right. Vaughn had a 960 OPS. Tony had an 866. Caminiti had an 862. Wally Joyner had an 824. Laris had an 803. Okay, it's pretty balanced.
Yeah, it's balanced. They were good. It was a good offense. That's how you get to the World Series. What was our point here? I forget what we were saying.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, 98's a good lineup. I mean, this lineup
good
is
lineup.
Really good. But 98's a really good lineup. In different ballpark, it's hard to compare.
This lineup will have more guys with 20-plus home runs in that lineup. Now, you do have a 50 home run guy in there with Greg Vaughn, but...
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's hitting 50 this year for the Padres. Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
HBBBV, thank you, says Ohtani shouldn't gambled in Anaheim in Mickey Mouse.
Okay. What? What did you say? I'm not doing that.
Jim is just on one right now.
Just one time thing.
AQ95, maybe the first super from AQ95. Thank you, man, for hanging out. What is this?
What's a good go-to when DMing a girl?
Hey, did you see the Padres one?
Hey, Dodgers suck.
Or how about something like I got tickets. I saw you're a Padres fan. I actually have tickets on Wednesday for you, Darvish's return. Any interest in going? Boom. You can thank me later.
First date.
Yeah. Hey, actually, it's funny. I I stumbled on your profile because my friend is like friends with you, and I see you're a Padres fan. You want to go to the game Wednesday? I have an extra ticket.
Don't be a creep.
That should be your DM.
I'm not a creep, but
bro, give me an example because you dated prior to Aaron in this social media era. I don't know if you used Instagram as much as you would use like dating apps.
I use the dating apps. I didn't do the.
DM.
I didn't slide
what are
in
your
the DM,
chances? Yeah, what are the odds there, right? I mean,
yeah. Because here's the thing for me.
Hey, I'm on the wrap up show.
How do you if you're gonna slide into her DMs? You better hope that she's at least like attracted or interested in you. On the dating apps, you knew, okay, this girl's interested in me, so then you feel a little more comfortable.
What did Aaron's friends call you? Radio guy or radio boy?
Radio show guy.
Radio show guy. I love that. Not wrap up show guy or not YouTube guy.
No,
because you're kind of like radio for. You probably told her you work in radio. You probably didn't say I work on YouTube.
I did not tell her that. No.
Did she care at all about your job? Seriously, like go back to like the first like 10 days. Did she care what you did?
Yeah, she like listened like right away. She didn't.
I remember that.
And she didn't know which one was. She didn't know which one was I because she thought we sounded similar. She's like, "Who are you?"
Now?
No, she still doesn't know.
Oh, look who has showed up! Look who has showed up!
Oh, here we go.
Carlos, my man.
We're not doing this tonight, Carlos.
Yes, we are. He says, boring game, strong pitching, need a sweep. I mean, it wasn't maybe the most thrilling baseball game, but Tatis comes back. Musgrove looks good. Need a sweep. I mean, Darvish, what are you counting on Wednesday? Nobody's counting on 6-7 innings. And then who pitches Thursday?
Kingy? Right?
That's probably accurate. No, Perez, dude. You got freaking Darvish on a 60 pitch limit, and then you got Martin Perez. I mean, I don't know. Sweep would be nice.
Be nice.
But I can't guarantee that. That's right, JD Gotcha.
Damn girl, Brett G says, damn girl, you're hotter than Jackson Merrill's bat.
Ooh, I like that. Like Valentine's Day Padres edition. Vince's Adventures, what's up, man? Appreciate you. He says, when do we move Merrill up in the batting order? Don't even I could leave and go eat a vegan hot dog for 20 minutes and Jim could talk about this.
You're not moving Jackson Merrill up in the batting order.
I think in 2025 you are.
Yeah. I was thinking about this today. You know, you're in a postseason series. Jackson Merrill is one of your hottest hitters in the series. Maybe they do decide, hey, we need to put, I wouldn't be surprised if you did see him higher in the lineup in a postseason series if he's like doing really well. But as far as right now goes, keep him where he's at.
Yeah, which is 6th. I mean, I agree with you. I think maybe gets moved up, but I think 6th has worked and makes sense, and you don't need to force the issue, so to speak.
Right.
Carlos, back in the chat with the super. Thank you, man. He says, Arise will be key in October. He won't strike out. Love it. He could be unbelievably crucial in October. Imagine if he can get on base at this clip, hit 350 in a series, hit 400 in a series. He's capable of doing that for 5 games. He absolutely hit 400 in a 5-game series or a 3-game series.
That's why he's so dangerous, is because you can't strike him out. I mean, if you're in a situation, and there's going to be a lot of situations in the postseason where you need a strikeout and Arise is up. Good luck.
Like unwilling to strike out.
He will not strike out.
Right. Yeah, it's a good point. No, it's a good point. And I mean, Carlos, you're
right. You have runners at first and third with no outs in the 7th inning.
You're going to score a run.
Yeah, you're probably scoring a run.
Yeah,
good chance.
You have a good chance. David H160 says Carlos needs to go to Hong Kong and loosen up. LOL. Carlos, you can reply if you'd like. He follows up by saying we see Elias Diaz this week instead of crippled Campy. I think we'll see Elias Diaz this week. I think he will start a game for the Padres this homestand.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Who else got called up?
I'll
tell you if you'd like to know.
Was
that the day that they did all the freaking Wandy Peralta, Tom Cosgrove? It's Cosgrove, Peralta, and our boy Elias Diaz for Vasquez. Yeah. So 3 for 1 because you got 2 more players.
Correct.
Yep. I guess he's saying he was there.
Okay.
I can't even, some of these comments are getting a little. All right. That kind of covers it, right, Jim?
Yeah. Off day tomorrow. Back Wednesday. Talk about a Darvish start.
Now we're not off tomorrow because join us on John and Jim.
Yeah,
Padres
John and
are off.
Jim. Yes. I mean, by the way, if you haven't already, go subscribe to our John and Jim YouTube channel. We're on every day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And go subscribe. The at John and Jim SD on YouTube, or just type in John and Jim. Hit that subscribe button. We are very close to 2,200 subs over there, and we need your support and help. So go subscribe and watch our show during the day or on replay, and we'd very much appreciate it.
We would. I just put the link actually in the live chat, so you can subscribe by clicking the link right now in the live chat. Please subscribe to that channel. Yeah, 3 p.m. tomorrow, talking Padres, obviously. So please join us tomorrow from 3 to 6 on San Diego Sports 760, free iHeartRadio app, and also on YouTube. James, what's going on, man? Thanks for the super and the membership. He says, rest in peace to Drew Thorpe's season. Yeah, he's done. What did he end up having? I forgot. I sent you the tweet.
Bone spurs.
Yeah, sucks. That team is so freaking bad.
You almost feel like if they beat anybody, that's like, even if they win, even the Padres win a series versus them, but they lose a game, you're just like,
oh, what a wasted opportunity.
Horrible.
No, you're right. I mean, they're historically bad.
They're going to set the record.
Historically.
Most losses, I think.
They already have the most losses in White Sox history.
There's 20-some games left, dude. It's incredible.
Yeah. I mean,
What a season. I'd almost want to have a wrap-up show every game just to talk about, can they break this loss record?
Dude,
like, can they
you
lose?
would kill them. I mean, what would you be saying about them?
Well, it wouldn't be far off from what
different.
Ozzie Guillen says during their post-game shows. I mean,
their
crew on, I think it's, I don't know I forget what it is, like NBC something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But they have
Chicago.
They have a White Sox post game on television with Ozzie Guillen and a couple other people.
It must be amazing.
And they're ripping the shit, and they're just destroying this every day. And by the way, that's the only people talking about the Chicago White Sox in Chicago, because it's Bear season now, and Caleb Williams has arrived. So there will be no more talk of any baseball unless the Cubs win 15 in a row and then the postseason.
You don't think there's a lot of White Sox talk going on with their 20-100 record or whatever it is?
I don't think there's a lot of baseball talk in Chicago right now, to be honest with you.
Not right now. Not right now.
Not right now with Caleb Williams, the heir apparent to like Jesus, starting up this week.
By the way, also we're on Discord. If you want to continue the conversation with Padres fans of the wrap-up show, click the link in the description down below. You can join us right now on Discord. The Padres conversation continues over there on our Discord server, so click that link in the description down below. Subscribe. We're on our way to 7,000 with your help, so please subscribe. Well on our way to 7,000. I think we're less than 80 away from 7,000 subscribers, so please subscribe. Smash the like button for us. You can follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for the super thanks if you're here on replay. Thank you to those that have become members by clicking join. Please support our partners, our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. If you have an insurance need, click the link in the description down below. Mova Globes. Use promo code PWS10 and get 10% off by clicking the link in the description down below. And take advantage of a crazy week at Underdog Fantasy by using promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. Get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000, and so many daily deals at Underdog Fantasy going on for the first week of the National Football League. All right, we'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. on San Diego Sports 760 for John and Jim. For Jim, I'm John. This has been the wrap-up show. Thanks, guys.
Peace out.